the United States government got a UCC filed on everyone. So I said, prove it. He said, go to maryland.org.ucc. Scroll down. Do a number search. Put in this number right here. Okay, y'all, follow me. I was following them. Because I wanted to see the outcome. So I was patient. Then when I was done, all of a sudden, it was like everything popped right up. Look at that, the Federal Reserve System. United States Department of Defense Accounting Services. So I decided to scroll down some more, get a good overlook, check things out. Then I went deeper. Y'all know me. I like to do a little bit of that investigation. Hit the button. And look what popped up. Oh yeah, all of the fees and how much they paid. How much they paid to file their filing for your body. Hey, it was $198 though for the whole complete process. And that was for them. Hell yeah, certified. They wanted a certified copy. And here's their UCC financial statement. Y'all see who is the debtor? Debtor 2. Debtor. Who is the secure party? The United States Treasury. And look at the bottom. Don't forget every check mark box. You want to know everything over here. Let me go to the addendum, the UCC 3. And look what else they filed. Look what they claimed in here. Look who's the debtor in here. Look who's the debtor in here. And look how much. And look at what they claimed. All real men with hands and legs. And all real land in the United States of America. And look at that number. Wow.
And I don't understand how we in 2025, 26, we not recognizing that, say, bro, it costs to go to jail. Going to jail is a business. Period. If you go to jail, you got to pay to come home. You got to pay to go to court. You got to pay to get defended. And none of these young niggas ain't got nothing but a gun in the fucking pool shiesty, man.
Can't pay to play, you gotta stay.
I don't understand world no more. I don't understand when none of this. I thought, in my mind, this was about money. I get what this is about.
Wow.
Emotions. It's about emotions. Everything is emotional. And I hate to say this, ladies, but it comes from your fucking mama. Your mama done this to you. You give a fuck how that sound. Your mama raised you. You living off your mama. Your mama emotions is the reason why if a nigga look at you wrong, you gonna feel away. If your daddy raised you, you wouldn't feel away. You wouldn't.
There were owners of private prisons who were suing the states they are contracted to imprison people in because they don't have enough prisoners because the state got lax on some of their laws and decided to be more lenient on incarceration. So you have a state government that goes, all right, we ain't gonna put as many people in prison. But the private company running the prison go, nah, motherfucker, you promised us 80% capacity at all times. We at 50% capacity. Go catch some niggas and bring them and or reimburse me for the people that are not in here.
When we start cleaning up our communities, multi-billion-dollar, trillion-dollar companies is gonna lose money. And they feed their families off of us killing each other. They send their children to school off of us killing each other. They live in mansions and drive on yachts off of us killing each other. The ambulance, police officers, the pharmaceutical industry. When you get shot up and you gotta take them perks and them pills, that's money. The ride to the ambulance, you get a hospital bill for that. They start losing money when we stop killing each other. The obituaries, the funeral homes, they start losing money. The lawyers that we paying millions of dollars to get us off this case, they start losing money. So you don't think it's somebody that's sitting in the back responsible for making sure that we keep killing each other so that they can keep eating? When you go to prison, each inmate, they make money, bro, off of the inmates up in there. They make money off of our free labor in prison, building stuff for them. You see what I'm saying? So you don't think there's people out here that's like, let me promote this rapper talking about sliding on the ops. Let me promote you trolling these brothers for somebody that you done killed. Because the more you incite them to murder and kill, the more we eat.
So we do have some time now for questions from the audience. I wonder if we should just take a few, and then we can respond to them all together. So,
Thank you. I have a question. What's the difference between the U.S. debt and the debt that African nations own? Because the U.S. debt doesn't keep the U.S. from being one of the leading powers of the world, but then African nations can't make it because of that debt that is strangling them.
Okay. The first question is a very important question. What makes African and third world debt different from the American debt? Number one, America's never going to pay its debts. It doesn't have to. Its debts are in its own currency. We can simply print it. The African debt is not in its currency. The African debt is in U.S. dollars. Africa has to earn the U.S. dollars, and the only way it can earn the U.S. dollars is not to be assassinated for growing its own food and becoming independent and doing something that the United States does not like. The principle underlying the foundation of the World Bank, the International Bank for IBRD, research, the World Bank, is that no country should grow its own food. Africa and the third world should only grow export crops. To export, in order to have an oversupply of cocoa and other tropical raw materials, to keep down the price, they must buy their grain from the United States or Europe, so that if they do something that we don't like, we can do what America tried to do to China in the 60s. We can sanction them. We can say, we're going to starve you. We're going to not export any grain to you. So owing their foreign debt in dollars means that they have to somehow sell something that the United States wants, not what they want. I think the most evil organizations in the world today are the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. And my book, Super Imperialism, that I wrote in 1972, is all about that. The largest purchasers of the book were the Defense Department and the CIA. I was immediately, the organization I worked for was given a $75,000, $85,000 Defense Department contract for me to come to explain to them how American imperialism worked, and they used it as a how to do it book.
So Ibrahim Traoré and the revolutionary African government of Burkina Faso have reportedly mined $18 billion of gold since they took control of their own mines. Which is substantial because when the mines were owned by France, Burkina Faso was paid only $1 billion a year by foreign companies. But now they're making $18 billion a year and reinvesting it in things like infrastructure, education, and security. Which is why Western governments are now trying to destroy Traoré's revolution, as they do anytime a country moves towards socialism and control of their own resources. In most African countries, Western companies extract all of the resources and then pay a bribe to the government and the local elite. You pay $1 billion a year to the rich people in Burkina Faso so they can live in luxury while stealing everybody else's resources. But Traoré has said no, the resources of Burkina Faso belong to the people of Burkina Faso, not French companies. And we're going to reinvest those resources in development that betters the day-to-day lives of our working people. Traoré is just so based. Solidarity with the revolution in Burkina Faso.
If you have a $100 bill and you spend it at the local takeaway, and that person spends it on groceries, and then that person spends it on new shoes, the $100 bill is still $100. But if you pay with card, the bank takes 1.5%, then another 1.5%, and then another 1.5%. After 20 or 30 transactions, the only ones left with the full $100 are the banks. That's why they want to get rid of cash.
If you have a $50 bill, and I give it to the barber for my haircut, and then he goes and buys groceries with it from the grocer, and the grocer goes and gets his car washed. The $50 goes from place to place, and after 20 or 30 transactions, the $50 bill belongs to somebody and it's worth $50. Whereas if I pay by card, 1.5% goes to the bank. And then if he takes the money I've given him and pays for the groceries, 1.5% goes to the bank. And after the groceries have been paid for, when he goes to get his car washed, 1.5% goes to the bank. So after 20 or 30 transactions, $50 is gone, the bank has it all. I think that's why they're so desperate to get rid of cash. Interesting. CBDCs are the next level because once the money's completely digital, then they control everything you do with it. They control where it goes, but they can also control how and when it can be spent. Imagine some terrible future dystopian society where your money arrives and they say it can only be spent on food, or it can only be spent on vegetables because you've had too much meat this week, or you can't buy transport to a particular area because there's resistance to government oppression in that area. So your money won't work for trains right now because nobody can go down there because we don't want everyone in a large group. We want everyone at home in their pods. And they can track everywhere it goes, and they can also track how it's spent, and they can control how it's spent. They put a time limit on it. You have an hour to spend this money. It's scary. Like, think of all the ways they can inflict control over it.
Y'all folks pay $100 to $1,000. Some of y'all pay more than that a month for insurance for your car. The craziest thing about this shit is, the shit works against you. If you crash your car, your insurance could say, I don't want to cover you. That's crazy as fuck. Niggas created a system where you have to pay niggas for the car that you already paying for, and you have to put insurance on it to drive the bitch around, and a nigga can say, I don't want to cover that. What do you mean? What the fuck am I paying you for? Okay, you buy a house, you paid your house off. Even after you pay your house off, you pay your mortgage off, we have something called taxes. I have to pay for a house that's already paid off. Systems are scams, gang. Either you learn how to play with the system or you get played. Feel me? I just think this shit is crazy because what a lot of people don't and then, like he said, if you don't got insurance, you go to jail. So they're forcing you, nigga. These are scams, bro. The economy itself is a scam.
Thank you for calling Gerber Life Insurance. Calls may be monitored or recorded to ensure quality service.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for calling Gerber Life. My name is Susan. This call is being recorded for quality assurance purposes. May I begin by obtaining the policy number?
I would like to give Jonathan authorization to speak on my behalf.
What kind of life insurance policy does she have?
A whole life policy.
Perfect. And how much money has she put into the policy total so far?
Total premiums month to date is $6,525.50.
How much cash value is available right now if she had an emergency?
Currently, she has a total of $825.50 available.
Okay, so Lucia, were you aware that out of the $6,500 that you've paid in, only $800 is available in case you needed the money? Were you aware of that?
No, I was not aware of that. The way it was sold to me was as a plan to pay for my daughter's college, and I thought it was a savings plan.
Okay, so I have another question. If she needed to use this money, let's just say for her daughter's college eventually, does she have to take that money out in the form of a loan, or how does that work?
She does have an option to loan, which is currently at 8%.
Lucia, were you aware that you were going to have to borrow your money to send your daughter off to college? Were you aware of that?
No, that wasn't made clear to me. I didn't know that I would have to borrow my own money.
Okay, so I have another question, Susan. Let's say she ends up taking a loan out and she never pays it back and doesn't take care of the interest. What could happen to the policy in the future?
If she does take the option to loan and doesn't pay it back, nor the interest, she does run the risk of lapsing the policy.
Lucia, were you aware that if you take a loan to send your daughter off to college and you never pay it back, you're going to run the risk of losing your life insurance coverage? Were you aware of that?
No, I wasn't aware of that.
I have another question, Susan. How much life insurance does she currently have? What's her death benefit?
She currently has $100,000 for her death benefit.
Okay. Let's say she ends up building some significant cash value. Let's say $30,000 in cash value. She has $100,000 of life insurance, so that's $130,000 total. God forbid she passes away. Are you guys going to pay out $130,000 or just $100,000?
We only pay the $100,000.
Lucia, were you aware that they were going to keep your cash value? God forbid something happened to you?
None of this was told to me. I was just told this as a way to save for my daughter's college.
If you guys have a life insurance policy and you guys need a free policy review, send me a DM or click the link in my bio and I'll get you the answers that you're looking for.
So YouTube charges companies to show us ads, but then charge us to not see the same ads? That's not some crooked shit. That's like me paying to do public speaking, then giving people the option to pay to not hear me speak.
It seems that they ended those ostriches for a far more nefarious reason than just, I want to show you I have a bigger cucumber than you. Watch this.
It's been well. He has 36 plus worldwide patents. This is not new research. And so we started working with him and our herd of ostriches here. And we were looking at developing the alternative to vaccinations, working with natural antibody solutions to create resilience in your own body for virus threats and disease. And we were very successful. So we already had COVID-19. We have scientific proof and data that we were able to neutralize the COVID-19 variants, not block them, actually cure it, neutralize it. And this is all just through lozenges or nasal sprays. And so that was very exciting. But the lab that we were working with at the time actually got shut down. Immediately after all of our robust antibody research results came back in, Frederic Leduc, a lab, Immune Biosolutions in Quebec, got shut down and had to sign an NDA and was no longer allowed to talk to us.
Let me know, what are you thinking? Have you been paying attention to that ostrich case in British Columbia? I'd love to know your thoughts.
How did it work? What was going on?
The undocumented workers would come into the office in groups. They would provide them either permits or driver's license illegally. So they were bypassed without even taking the test.
How much?
$200 a person.
Up to 5 times a day, she says.
Was this an everyday thing?
Almost, yes.
I first reported on the driver's license fraud investigation in April after getting my hands on one of the state's revocation letters. We learned the transportation cabinet sent more than 1,500 of them in 5 months, telling drivers their license was issued in error and must be returned or they could be criminally charged. At the time, state officials confirmed at least 2 terminations, and ongoing state and federal investigations focused on the NIA Center in West Louisville and the E-Town license branch. But they denied all of our records requests, withholding 2,300 documents on the fraud. Mormon's story fills in the blanks.
I found out it may have been going on for a couple of years before it was found out.
We're told it wasn't as simple as people getting state-issued driver's license or permits without taking a test. She says 2 of her colleagues at the NIA Center approached her with a business venture, asking if she wanted to get in on the scheme.
I was asked to bring certain customers in, and they are brought in to me without signing in. And you would scan their documents as usual.
Documents made to look legitimate, like birth certificates and social security cards, according to the letter she wrote to the state. But a key to pulling off this scheme was making sure the required Homeland Security screening was never run.
I start getting these emails saying, are you doing this? Are you doing this? Are you doing this?
And that's where it unraveled. She says those workers were using her login, a password she says her bosses made her share, as all workers at the driver's license branch did not have their own.
You're charging Negroes more than 20%? There's no way anyone can get out from under that.
If your bank wasn't legally prohibited from lending to Negroes, you do the same?
Within reason.
6%, fellas, huh? Let's get this done. The city will approve any new Southland Trust development in East Compton once all the original owners have sold.
Not a given.
Tell me my fucking business. Chicago, Baltimore, Lansing, Oakland, Seattle.
Now that was foresight. Move just one black family into a decent white neighborhood, and the other homeowners will throw money at you faster than you can count it.
Negroes aren't stupid. Given a choice, even they don't want to live among other Negroes. Nothing more American than people willingly paying double for something they can't afford in the first place.
What happens once they realize they have been swindled?
Well, you could always ask Miss Cloister if you could borrow a sanitary napkin.
If they make their mortgage payments, we win. If they default, we win.
Oh, you pray they miss their nut, and then you put those houses right back on the market.
At another markup. And by this time, it's an all-Negro neighborhood.
An entire population of Negroes.
So now they want us to pay 50-year mortgages. So by the time you even think about paying off your house, you're either dead or broke. They're taking money away from healthcare, and when they want to give you a punk-ass $2,000, and you can figure out your own healthcare. But the idiots are going to just spend it and give it back to the rich people. That's why he's not giving it to the rich people, because you're already going to give it to the rich people. Right?
Wasn't we supposed to get $5,000 from Doge? Yeah. That. If you don't know finances and you don't know money, these are clear-cut signs of money laundering. These are clear-cut signs of theft, and now they need to float the money another way. These are clear-cut signs of creating financial prisoners who can never get out of debt. To the point that their kids, and kids will never get out of debt. For example, I haven't raised my tenant's rent in 3 years, right? The last time I raised it is when the taxes actually went up. Some people's landlord raises their rent every single year and tells them because of the economy, and that's a damn lie. They literally end up using the money for something else and just increase the price of the money on their tenants. That's what they do. And the sad part is his supporters actually think that these things are benefiting us.
Islam, Shalom, Hola, Aloha, Bonjour, Osio, Assalamu Alaikum, Konnichiwa. This your brother Zach Bay, Indigenous American Moor, coming to you live in full effect. Like, share, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell down below so you can be notified whenever I'm dropping some new content. Leave a comment, interact with me. Thank you, I really do appreciate your viewership. Let's jump into another one. Back at it again. Blood and Gold. And hopefully you enjoyed those clips at the beginning, and I'm probably going to show some at the end to help drive my point home. So I want to start it off by saying it's all a scam, fam. It's all a scam. Now, just so you know, in that clip at the beginning about everybody having a bond on them, like, we're all on the New York Stock Exchange, fam, all of us. That is if you have a SSN, Social Security number. It's a tax identification number, right? If you have one of those, best believe you're on the New York Stock Exchange, and they already calculated your entire wealth, your entire productivity, depending on like how much education you have, what type of job you have, what kind of background you come from. They've already calculated your entire lifetime worth inside of the New York Stock Exchange, and that's how they trade stocks and bonds when it comes to human capital. And that's why, you know, that's how they're slaving us out to other foreign nations, right? That's exactly how they're doing it. You can look it up. All right, so let's just go over some of the scams that people are becoming aware of, but it's just becoming more obvious, you know, if you have that eye open, right? Let's see. Big Pharma, all right? Big Pharma is a scam. The pharmaceutical industry, hey, they're not trying to heal us. They're trying to keep us as forever customers, right? You never cure a ailment, you only treat it. And if you treat it, you can make them a customer forever, because they're always going to have to come back to get a treatment, right? There's no more cures. They actually outlawed the use in the word cure when it comes to the medical industry, because they don't want to cure anything. Think about how many funds they've had. Let's cure this kind of cancer. Let's cure that kind of cancer. No cures have come up at all. They're just draining the money, draining the energy of the people who want to wipe out and eradicate these ailments, right? It's a scam, fam. It's a scam. They recently killed a whole bunch of ostriches up in Canada, I believe, recently. And turns out that these ostriches, they say one of the birds potentially came down with some type of avian sickness, and they used that as a grounds to exterminate all of them. But it turns out those ostriches were actually being used in medical research for anti-vaccination grounds, right? So they were pretty much wiping out the need for inoculations, vaccinations with the research they were using with the ostriches. And the research was actually looking very promising, as that clip I showed earlier. You know, hopefully that does raise some eyebrows. What else? The agricultural industry, especially here in America, they're buying up a lot of the farmland. People like Bill Gates, foreign investors, China, buying up a lot of agricultural land, a lot of farmland, like the very fertile lands, and they're using it to grow their GMO. Bill Gates especially is using it to grow their GMO foods and crops. They just recently came out, you might have seen this online, they just recently came out with the new Flamin' Hot Cheetos, right? If you've seen them, they changed up the recipe in the snacks. A lot of the snack foods we have, information came out that they were banned in a lot of other countries due to the artificial food dyes, preservatives, stuff like that they allowed here for us to consume. But now they're switching it up since RFK became the head of the health branch of the government, right? They outlawed it, they banned it, and I believe the sale of those products is no longer going to be allowed. And I think it's by December 1st of this year on to next year, I believe. But yeah, food and water is not a human right. You know, the US and Israel both voted on that. So they're buying, like I said, they're buying up a lot of agricultural land, and they're also buying up huge corporations like Nestle especially are buying up water rights. All right, they're buying up lands that have springs on them, natural water springs, and they're pretty much taking that natural water, putting it through a process and selling it back to us, fam. And they're making it a lot less healthy for us, right? So they're buying up land, they're buying up water, and food and water is not a human right. And only 2 nations voted on that: the USA and Israel. Come on, think about it. And last but not least, one of the biggest scams that's been running on a lot of us, the justice system, fam. Honestly, you can only get the justice that you can afford in America. If you have the finance, if you have the coin, if you have that wealth, you can afford to pretty much get away with anything. You can only afford the justice. You can only get the justice that you can afford in the system. Unfortunately, it's not innocent until proven guilty. When it comes to certain people, looked at in the eyes of the law. Even though they say justice is blind, right? So there's debtor's prison if you can't afford to pay. Now, this was allegedly supposed to be outlawed early American history. Debtor's prison. They can't throw you in jail just for owing a debt, for owing some fine, fees, penalties. You already know. I made that video before in my previous video. Fines, fees, and penalties. Next thing you know, you're locked up in modern day chattel slavery. All right. But debtor's prison is supposed to be outlawed, fam. Remember that constitutionally. All right. All they want is your time and your labor. They want to steal while you're alive. They want to steal your time and your labor, and then after you die, they want to come after your estate. Now, one of the videos I played earlier demonstrated that or illustrated that for you. Once you're done, dead and gone, they want to come after your estate through all kinds of legal processes, probate, stuff like that. If you have a last will and testament, if you have a trust set up, that gives you forms of protection, and you know, it kind of safeguards your family on having to pay attorneys in the legal system to, you know, to settle your estate once you're gone, right? So you should have all this in order before you go, fam. Like, these are things we're supposed to take care of as nationals, as free nationals on the land, operating in our birthright. We're supposed to be having all this in writing, black and white, so it can easily be seen, so we can claim everything that we're supposed to claim, and nothing can be taken from us afterwards. All right. If they can trap you in a debt or a contract, that's pretty much, they got you in the trick bag right there. I told you, they're gonna start coming out. In one of my previous videos, I stated that they're gonna come out with more schemes and scams to try to get you into these long-term contracts, fam. It was just stated, I believe earlier, last week, it was stated that they came out with a new 50-year mortgage type of deal, all right, the Trump administration came out with a 50-year mortgage plan. So you can sign your life away for 50 years in order to pay on some type of housing, right? Just to have a freaking roof over your head. You can put yourself in a 50-year death pledge, all right? Because that's what mortgage means. When you look up the etymology of the word mortgage, it means death pledge, all right? You're pledging your life away for 50 years in order to pay for this, for lodging, fam, for lodging. 50 years. Come on, man. If that's not slavery, I don't know what is. I told you weeks ago in my previous videos that this was gonna come up. All right. Last week, the last 1 cent. All right. People call it a penny, but the last 1 cent coin was minted. All right. 2025 October, the last November, 2025, the last 1 cent coin was minted in the United States because allegedly it costs us 4 cents to print every 1 cent, or to mint. Something else that came out, the digital ID. All right, they're not forcing it on us; they're making it optional now. Now, if you're a customer of Apple, all right, they say in the Apple settings, you can go into the settings and you can sign up for this new digital ID inside the Apple settings. So they're making it optional for us now. They're saying they're offering it as a convenience in places like Puerto Rico and other U.S. territories, right? But anybody can apply for it and sign up for it inside the Apple store, and they can just hold that information on their device. They're slowly rolling us into it, fam. Look, they can't push anything out too fast because we will revolt. We will reject it. We're going to automatically see that our rights are being infringed upon. If they roll it in slowly, very slowly, just a little bit here, a little bit there, people will be lulled into a false sense of security. People aren't going to notice. The people who are supposed to notice aren't going to notice. And by the time they do notice, by the time we all notice, it's too late, fam. That's what they're planning for us all. They already they removed paper checks. So like the Fed, any kind of federal payment you're going to be getting, they're no longer sending out paper checks through the mail, fam. That was another little slick thing that they did, right? Now they're doing these small milestones in order to get to their pretty much their overall plan. First milestone, I'll remove paper checks. So we're doing paperless now. Paperless. Everything is going through either email. You have to have a card on file. We have to have information on file digitally. All right, they're doing that. Boom. They're getting rid of our smallest denomination of physical currency, and next thing you know, they'll move into larger denominations of physical currency. It starts with the 1 cent, then it'll be the 5 cent, then next thing you know, it'll be the dollar will be gone. We'll only have fives. You know, they'll slowly do that, and next thing you know, we no longer have physical currency, fam. And then the whole digital ID thing. We already seen what's going on over in the UK, over in South Korea, over in Vietnam. We already seen how their economies were rejecting that. And we also seen what's going on in Mexico. They've been recently trying to push that in Mexico as well. And we see the upheaval that's going on there. Come on, fam. Hopefully you're getting what I'm putting down. Like, share, subscribe to my channel down below. You know they always trying to silence voices like mine, fam. Before I let you go, like I said, they want to slowly roll us into this digital trap for which there is no escape. Once they have us inside this trick bag, inside this digital matrix, this artificial matrix, there's damn near no escape, fam. That's almost checkmate. Like, if you know the game of chess, they have us in check right now, fam. We have to remove ourselves from check before we can make any other moves. They have us in check right now. They're going for that checkmate, fam. And our back is against the wall. All of us. Me, you, all of us. Don't let this artificial system take advantage of you. Claim your estate. and protect it like their life depends on it, because it does. This is your brother Zach Bay. Like, share, subscribe. Peace.
Niggas be thinking they be going to these jobs and getting money. Them jobs getting over on you because they getting your fucking time. And time is super expensive because you don't know how much you got left. You don't know if you're gonna die tomorrow. So if you knew that you was gonna die tomorrow, would you be working? Because your time expensive as hell if you're gonna die tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So
another thing I noticed,
what's up?
We get, you know how we get paid every week, right?
Yeah.
Or every 2 weeks. I realized while I'm working, all my days in my life is just flying by because all I'm waiting for is Friday for that paycheck, or next Friday for that paycheck. By the time I realize it's 7 months done went by, my kids is getting older, so much shit is happening, and all I'm thinking about is that paycheck on Friday. And I'm missing so much. I mean, I'm here, but I'm missing so much, like mentally. I can't explain it, but like, yo.
I'm about to break it down clearly for you. A motherfucker will live 30 days, and out of those 30 days, they only looking for 2 Fridays out of 30 days. Scary thing, yo. Especially when you realize that in a lifetime, the average person lived about 72, so you only get 72 summers, and you telling me every 30 days you only looking for 2 Fridays? Out of a year, you looking for 24 Fridays, and you working 365 days.
Damn.
Not me, bro.
Nah, you broke that down.
Nah, bro, because I'm a math dude. Because people like to be like, you bullshit. No, when you think about it like that, out of a lifetime, Eddie Murphy said you give 72 summers, 72 to 76 summers, bro. And you telling me each year you only looking for 24 Fridays because those are days you get paid. So literally, let's just say you get paid this Friday. Don't have a lit weekend where you broke Monday. You about to waste damn near 10 days because you trying to hurry up and get to that other Friday. I can't live like that.
You just miss so much without you even realizing it.
Congress decided that dying is the new deductible. I decided to tell you how to take back control. One Big Beautiful Bill has a rule that says if Medicaid helped you survive, the government can come collect after you die. Your house, your land, your black wealth, whitewashed. It's called estate recovery. It's legal in 49 states, and if you've never heard about it, that was the point. We are not powerless. Typically underinformed, but let's get informed. When care gets cut and people lose access, debt will rise and these cheaper clinics will flood. We're watching members of Congress continue to buy private insurers like Aflac and Globe Life, and also retail clinics like CVS and Teladoc. Medical debt collectors like PRAA and ECPG are about to make a killing as well. When food insecurity spikes, grain prices rise. We want to look out for food commodity giants like Kroger's, Costco, Archer Daniels Midland. For my babies that want to intentionally avoid capitalism, kind of, sort of, I got y'all too. Just look into equality-based ETFs and community health funds. The way I see it, you have 2 choices. Learn the system and play the game, or continue to be whitewashed one estate at a time. I know you can do it because history repeats itself and Wall Street been black. Now move accordingly. Bye.